world? This is Johnny Moe here, coming to you with another one of my letters and forms I send out to my customers every year at this time. So I'm going to start out, I'm going to read it to you, I'm going to read paragraphs, I'm going to show you what we do. This letter gets sent out every year around this time, and this is how it states. Today it is about 0 degrees, and the grass is covered the color of white. I assure you soon and very soon, the white will give way to green, and we will be in the neighborhoods making noise. The sound of mowers and hedge trimmers will fill the air, and spring will have sprung. I know last year the white stuff started flying before we could finish the leaf cleanup, but we will be getting those done to start the year off. I change this paragraph every year. It's the only one I change. It's a form letter. And so this letter was sent out at the beginning of 2014. I haven't done my new letters. I was going to work on it this week. That's why I've pulled these letters out. In the second paragraph, it says, we offer 12 monthly billing. This breaks up the cost of our services to make them as affordable as possible. If you're interested, please contact us. Contact our office and we will work up a quote. Below are list of the services we provide. The one marked are the services we have you scheduled for. If it is not marked and you would like to be included, please call and schedule. We look forward to hearing from you. Right down here, I list all their services. So let's say this is Mrs. Smith. She gets a spring cleanup. She gets mowing. She's landscape maintenance, prune edge and mulch. She's a fall cleanup, leaf removal, and she is a lawn applicating customer. So if she wasn't marked and say she wouldn't want her driveway done, she would write back, or she would call us at our office and say, hey, listen, I'd really like you to start doing my snow removal. So, or maybe she doesn't get landscape maintenance, and she's only a mowing customer that just gets mowing and fall cleanup. We have just mowing customers, and we have customers that do everything with us. We like the ones that do everything with us. I do not like sharing properties with other guys. It's not that I'm insecure. It's just it adds to, when you have too many if you have too many experts on the property, someone will be the lead expert and they'll throw you under the bus generally. I remember before we got into the lawn applications, the lawn applicating guy used to say that we were weed whacking too close. That's why we had crabgrass along the edges, because we were weed whacking too close. Could it be that maybe you misapplied your application? You know, so we got into the lawn applicating because it was getting too much to control. These guys like to pound the lawns, and then they laugh at you when you can't keep up with it. You know, in the Northeast, you know, May, June, your grasses can grow 7 inches in one freaking week, and that's a lot of grass to be taken off. So that's why we got in the lawn application. So that's how we do it. We mark whatever the customer's getting, and then they know the other services that we provide, and they can call you. Let me tell you something, guys. We've made a lot of money off this, just this letter, Upselling. You know, we don't do a lot of advertising. We do have our trucks lettered, our trailers lettered, you know, uniforms. We don't advertise anything else outside of that. But this creates word of mouth. If you do good job, they'll like, hey man, they do a good job mowing. I bet you they would be good at landscape maintenance. I bet you they're good at pruning shrubs. You know, I want to give them a shot on lawn application. So letting them know what else you do is important. All right, right up here when I start out, we offer 12 monthly billing. We offer contract billing. What we do is we add up all their services for the year. We divide it by 12. And I'm telling you what, guys, that stuff really works. I'm telling you that I've landed $60,000 contracts because of offering that, where other guys, they weren't willing to. When you go into a commercial outfit that deals with budgeting, they love the fact that they know what they're paying every month. What happens is they have a large commercial place that you're bidding on, and the mulch job is huge, and then you're also mowing it. Let's say you're mowing their property for $100 a week. That's $400 a month. Sometimes there's a fifth week, so that would be $500 for that month. And all of a sudden you did a $6,000 mulch job for them. Well, that's, you know, $6,600. And that's a big chunk for a place just to write a check out for. So when you break that cost up over a year, it really goes in line with their budgets, and they love it. I've landed some huge contracts over this, and so I suggest you start working up stuff like that if you want to go after some bigger stuff. And the only problem is you gotta foot the bill. You gotta foot up, you know, you gotta foot up all the material cost. It comes out that month for you. It also how long the employees took. You got to foot all that up front. But if you watch my last videos and you're good with your numbers and you're getting between 25 and 30% profit, you guys will be able to handle this stuff, because this money will come in every single week, especially in the winter when there is no income besides snow plowing. It's just those checks keep rolling in. Another thing is, make sure you're good with your numbers before you start offering this to what you can lose your butt, and then you're locked into a deal where you're losing money every single month. Everyone, this last video where people are still crying lowball, lowballer, lowballer. Let me break this down for you. If I'm making 30% profit and I'm charging $15 less per cut, and let's say I did $200,000 last year, wink, wink, and what's 30% of 200,000? That's 60 grand that I stuck in my bank account. So go lowball that. That's my rant for today. Alrighty. Anyway, 60 grand in the bank, and that's lowballing. Probably made more profit than you $500,000 companies did. Woohoo! Anyway, back to where we're at. So, this paragraph here says, we would also like to inform you of any changes that have occurred in the pricing of your mowing services. In pricing, we try to be fair and competitive for the work we provide. The price for your mowing service is, and I wrote this little chart here. Let's say I sold one for $35. I'll generally do that lawn for $35 unless it's severely underbid for 2 years. After 2 years, I raise it $2. I wait another 2 years and I raise it $1. I wait another 2 years and I raise it $40. Then I'll wait to the 10-year mark, and then I'll go above the $5 mark to $42. Generally, customers do not like to go from here to here. Once you get above that $5 mark, they will consider bidding you out unless you have a very good relationship with them and you're very good at what you're doing. This is how we do it. Eventually, we want to go from 35 to 45, and we'll stop at 45. So over 15 to 16 years, we want to get this lawn up $10. And everyone's like, oh, Johnny, that's cheap. Guys, I want to remind you again where I live. I live in a distressed area. So $40 extra a month, is a lot for some people around here. The average medium income for where I live is $32,000. So when we find the pockets of money, which are hard to do, in a distressed town. What a distressed town is, meaning that we couldn't pay our bills, so the state had to come in, declare an Act 47, I believe, and declare the place distressed. So they've come in, they've taken over the finances of our city, meaning we do not make enough money to pay our bills in this city. So having said that, remember, you could still raise them, but you got to be very careful how much you raise them. If you're living in a big city like Detroit, the Detroit metro area with 6 million people, or Dallas with 1.8 million people, it's probably not going to matter too much. I mean, there's a lot of money in those areas. You can find the pockets of money in Dallas and Detroit a lot easier than you can find it here north of Pittsburgh. All right, guys? So this is how we do our raising. Start out 35. 2 years later, it's 37. 2 years later after that, 38. 2 years later after that, at 6 years, we got it up $5. This is why you got to know your numbers. You can't play around. You got to know your numbers. Everything is based off of what we do is based off of knowing your numbers. Next paragraph. As spring draws close, maybe you have changed your mind about the services we provide. Please contact us before 4/1/14. Otherwise, you will see us as usual in the spring. We give them an option to get out. Right at the beginning of the year, people may be thinking about going with other services. Listen, you don't want to go through a year with a person who's really not happy with you, because it makes for a miserable year. So I tell them right here, let me know by the 1st of April. Otherwise, you will see us as usual in the spring. People who've been with us for years, they know our schedule. They know as soon as it's time to mow or spring cleanup, we're on it. In closing, we'd like to thank you for your business, and if there are any questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to call us. You can reach us at our office. That's my phone number. And down here again, we have the list of services, and we mark and we check them. Right here, this one right here, lawn applications. Right there, lawn applications. If you're a lawn applicating customer with us, then you get another sheet of paper in your letter. This is the sheet of paper right here. Below is your laid out treatment program for the upcoming year of 2014. If it is not marked and you would like to be included, please call and schedule. We look forward to hearing from you. And then we list all the services: spring, early summer, late summer, fall lawn treatment, preventative insect control, curative insect control, core aeration. Then they get the total price, and it says, please contact us in concerns with your treatment plan. We look forward to hearing from you on properties' green space needs. So what we do is we lay out the application. Some only get 3, some get all 4. We do not offer a fifth. We do not offer a fifth winterized program. We have found that it's just not a good program. We really don't want the lawn to have, let's say you have a December where it gets kind of warm and it goes into the 50s, for like 3 or 4 days. We really don't want that lawn waking up. When we want it to go to sleep, we want it to go to sleep for the rest of the winter. If you put a fifth round on a late fall treatment, I've noticed that it's more likely to end up with diseases and different things. Our last treatment is put on no later than, I think, November 1st, and that's all we do. Preventative insect control, we put that down if you have a bad case of chinch bugs or grubs. If you have grubs 2 years in a row, we then start you on a preventative insect control. Curative, we always give them the price of the curative because it's more than the preventative. This chemical cost is a lot more than the preventative. I'm not a big component of just putting preventative on just to put it on all the time. Sure, it is a moneymaker. It's usually double of, usually the preventative goes on to the early summer treatment, and you can make double that treatment because you're putting 2 treatments on. But the problem is that the insects begin to build a tolerance to the insect control that you're using, so whether it be merit or whatever you may be using to cause that preventative, or pyrethroids. You can't keep blasting it and all of a sudden the insect becomes immune to it, and then you have to find a new chemical. And that becomes very, very hard to do in this business. This business here, when I first got into it, was a really good business. You can get fertilizer for $10 a bag. Now it's above 20. Sure, you can get deals if you buy it in big bulk, $15, $16, $17 a bag. But this has become so hard and legislated that it is a part of the business. The only reason why I got into it was just because I wanted to control my lawns. I wanted to control the growth of it. And I don't like having other experts telling the customer, oh, he doesn't cut grass right, or he doesn't do this right. He doesn't do, well, maybe you're not doing your job right. Maybe you're not even putting the application on at all. We've run into companies that just put, the hangers right on the door and get back in the truck and sit there for 5 minutes and then roll away as if they put something on, and they haven't. So, it's just another option. It's a good revenue stream. You do have to be licensed. I am licensed by the state of Pennsylvania. It's a nice option, and then we give our customers we have core aeration, and we just check it off what we're going to do for them, and then we give them the total price for the year so they know what they're scheduled for. Let's say that they say, you know what, last summer I didn't get a late summer treatment. I'd like to have that treatment. Some customers, because it gets hot, July and August, some customers don't want it because it burns the lawn out. You can put a sulfur coated material on that it's a 50% slow release, 75% slow release. The truth of the matter is, you're taking a chance. You put that fertilizer on, and let's say it rains one day, activates it, and then we go through a freaking drought, and all of a sudden you have to replace that lawn because you put an application on when you knew you shouldn't have. Most people don't care. They'll put it on no matter what. I've only lost one lawn in as many years as we've been doing it. It was a $5,000 lawn. So I am very cautious. Even if you sign up for a late summer treatment in my company, if I see that we're going to be near the hundreds for it's going to be 90s for the next 5 weeks, there's a good chance I'm going to skip this late summer treatment, because a lawn that's getting treated for 100 isn't worth losing, $5,000 just to, replant the lawn. So use wisdom. And I know there's guys out there, oh, I never lost a lawn. I know what I'm doing. Well, the first time you lose a lawn because you put a treatment on that they signed up for, and you lose it because you burn them out, and what happened was it went from the 90s to a stretch in the hundreds. The lawn was toasted. But the day after I put the treatment on, it rained. I put a 75% slow release on. The problem occurred when it activated the fertilizer and then went on a stretch. Burn marks. It bleached the lawn like you wouldn't believe. So that's what happens, and you got to cover your butt. You got to be very knowledgeable in this field. So, guys, that's my time. This is my formula that we use, and you know what? If you guys can use something, use it. Take some advice. Leave me in the comment section some of the things that you do to reach out to your customers. What do you do? Tell me how you raise prices and do those things. The one thing I don't want to get into is I don't want to email you all my forms. I have done that in the past, but I don't, be creative. Use a letter that you created. I'm not going to email you my stuff so you can just, transfer it over, change the letterhead, and you use it. Be creative, guys. This is your business. This is something you want to do for the rest of your life. I didn't get this letter off someone else, and I did these letters. I did these forms. These are my templates. And so use your own templates. See what works for you. I read you the whole letter. I mean, if you want, you can just dictate it yourself. I mean, you got a screenshot. Take a picture of the screenshot right here, and then, do what you want to do. But honestly, I really don't have a lot of time. I've been getting a lot of emails lately, and I haven't had time to respond to all of them. And I apologize, but really, it's just very tough for me, especially now when I'm in the middle of snow plowing, trying to fix equipment for upcoming spring, and also getting in touch with all our customers and, looking at fertilizing pricing too. So I'm about to go to the warehouse with my dump truck and pick up some fertilizer. I'm trying to find, some really good pricing deals to buy it in bulk. So, all right, guys, that's my time. Great talking with you. I hope this helps. Let me know. Comment on this business letter, whether you like it, dislike it. Give me some ideas. Maybe you have something better, something that's really worked for you. I am open to those ideas because I just want to get better at business as I grow, and I hope that I'm adding value to you. Thanks, YouTube world.